everybody. Welcome back to the Fin Factor. I'm Paul.
I'm Aaron.
And so producer Jason is off screen there as always. This is episode number 253. And yes, we are celebrating being back, Aaron. We're back, baby. I cannot wait. This season for me is the beginning of the beginning.
Yes.
I think. Now I had said earlier in a past episode that I'm drawing the line in the sand, that I'm saying this is the season that the Sharks are going to be that bubble team. And I have reason to believe that I'll be taking that back, unfortunately. And it's not because I don't have faith in the team. It's because of a certain thing of the roster, and we will get to that in just a little bit. But Aaron, right now, the first thing I want to do is give these fine folks an opportunity to get more of them in here. So guys, if you can, please reach out to your Sharks friends and family, retweet us, post us out there, whatever it is, tap them on the shoulder, I don't care. Get more people in here. The conversation's way more fun when we've got more folks in there. We've got a comment right there. Hey fellas, let's go, Nick W. Yeah, it's great to be back, Nick. Thanks for joining us here. I know it's been a long time, and I think it was Timberland who said we shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. So, we are back. I know it's an old reference. Dad jokes will be coming all season long. Those of you who know the show know that it's just a constant here. So,
yes. Any
comment on the dad jokes?
No. I don't want to give it any more attention than it already has gotten.
Fair enough. Okay. So guys, if you can get some more folks in here, we'd appreciate that very much. Aaron, the rookie face-off. Mm-hmm. The first bit of actual hockey action against another group that is not just more San Jose Sharks potential teammates, Barracuda teammates, other rookies, guys are going to be going back to juniors at some point, I'm sure. So it was kind of interesting to be able to see the Sharks kind of come out. Now, some folks thought, it's just not fair. I mean, the Sharks have such a good prospect pool, right? I mean, for them to go up against everybody else's prospects. That are kind of whatever. Yeah. It's kind of like an all-star prospect pool, if you will. We got some really good players, and it showed for these first two games.
Yeah, and some of these guys, it's not their first rodeo either. Yeah. They've been here last year, and some of them NHL experience. Friend of the show, Colin Graff, is playing. So some guys with some decent NHL experience, not maybe a full season, but not all complete rookies with no NHL experience. But there's a good mix of those too.
Yeah, absolutely. So just some notes from the first game here against the Ducks, mm-hmm. rookies, I should say. It was a 6-3 win. Cam Lund got on the board a couple times. Cam Lund's a guy that we don't talk about much on this show, and I don't know, maybe he deserves a little bit more credit and a little bit more of a spotlight. Mm-hmm. He is a fantastic player.
Yeah, I like him. I like his game. He'd be more of probably a third line guy. Sure. I think a third line guy that could chip in some goals over time. But a little more aggressive. I think he has a little bit more bite to his game, a little more sandpaper. So something that the Sharks absolutely need more of, kind of, because right now they got those high-end prospects that are going to be taking up the top six. We don't need more kind of top six prospects, right? We need the guys that are going to fill in the gaps and third and fourth line duty and doing penalty kill and getting in the team spaces. I mean, look who has been in the finals the last 3 years in a row, the Florida Panthers, and look at how many dirty rats they have on that team. The Sharks need a lot more rats on their team.
They traded for the smallest rat of them all, of course, and Brad Marchand. Anyway, so yes, he does pick up. Cam Lund picks up 2 goals in this one. Scored I think it was just over 30 seconds into the game. Opened up the game the right way, and we'll see in the second game it didn't quite go our way in that fashion. Went actually the complete opposite. But for this one here, at least, we've got a couple more things to say. Misa showing that he was very poised with the puck in this one here. Again, not really. I mean, he got on the score sheet, we get some assists and whatnot, but really it was just his ability to skate with the puck, his ability to skate through contact. He's not afraid of making that contact. He's not trying to unload the puck as soon as someone's getting on top of him, right? Mm-hmm. So for him, and again, it's against rookies, but it's a spotlight, and I think he showed up and he was ready to play for this both of these games, really. So
yeah, no, I think that it's great. I want to see this guy kind of take off. He's one of my favorite prospects and has been for a while, so it's good to see him get on the score sheet and do some things. And again, another guy that's not his first time, right? Yeah. Not his first rodeo, if you will.
Ravensburgen here with, he made 16 saves on 19 shots, and I think that goes out to a .84 something save percentage, whatever it is. A lot of people thought he was probably the best goalie in his draft class, even though another goalie got taken before him. But I don't know. I think a lot of people were very impressed with them. I just, for me, the numbers, gosh, I was really hoping that it would look a little bit better than that. But, you know, as they say, goalies take time and everything, right? So it's going to take him
young.
Of course he's very young.
Yeah.
At the same time, he's playing against his peers. This is a rookie face-off after all.
Yeah, and it's also their very first game back after a long summer, so I'm not going to put too much stock into these games. It's cool to see it, and it's great to see high-scoring games. It's not 1-0. It's not 2-1. I mean, it was 6-3 and then 8-5. So a lot of goals going on. Terrible defense. Terrible defense and terrible goaltending. So yeah.
Let's pause here for a second. I want to read this one off. I haven't watched the Sharks since they were good. Been a while, buddy. Should I be from the 1900s, 1800s? Should I be excited about this season, or is the rebuild still going? So the rebuild.
Yes to both.
Well, I wouldn't say the rebuild is going on. We are in the build process now. I think
what Greer says is there's no more tearing down.
Yeah,
it's now building up. So it's no longer. I mean, they're going to sell off some pieces because there are some veterans this season that are only on for another year, right? That's the last year of the contract, but. For the most part, these guys are going to be on the up and up. We saw the Sharks had a slight bump in the standings from between 2 years ago and last year, right? They were expecting more, but they kind of had some early trades that got rid of some players earlier than they wanted to, mainly Blackwood.
Yes.
This year, I mean, we're going to get into the roster breakdown, but they will be. They're not going to be a playoff team, but think of watching. I love to reference this for people who are coming in here and they're basketball fans. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, when they just got drafted on the Warriors, they weren't good, they weren't winning, but you could see it. Yeah. You could see it building, you could see the core coming together. That's exactly where the Sharks are right now. So these guys are still very young, and you're going to watch the core. It is entertaining hockey, so it will be good. Entertaining hockey compared to, let's say, 3 seasons ago. That was really bad.
Yeah.
This season will be even better than last season.
And I think if you're only watching the games to see if the Sharks are going to win, and that's your scale for if you had a good time watching that game. If I only had a good time if they won, right? Well, then no, you're probably not going to enjoy this season very much. But if you're watching it for the talent, if you're watching it for kind of the wow factor, as Aaron said, of what they're going to be, right? I think this is going to be a very exciting season. If you haven't watched them in a long time, I would definitely come back and watch it for the skill level, and maybe just put something over the scoreboard on the top of your television, right? I think if you just watch it for the skill and for what they can be, because it's going to be this group. It's not like we're shuffling the young guys around anymore. These young guys are going to be our core. This is what you're going to be seeing when they are good again, and when you're watching them years to come. It's going to be these guys. So being able to see them now in their younger stages, I think is still going to be very exciting. So there's a very long answer for your question.
I think last season, a lot of teams were kind of caught by surprise of not necessarily how good they are, because they weren't good, but they were more respected than they were the season before.
Sure.
So the respect is there. I don't think there's going to be as many surprises this year. I think teams are going to play against the Sharks harder than they were last season. So there will be good games. There'll be hard-fought games, and the Sharks are getting better.
Now, I think it's Dylan here in the chat says Graf is an NHL player, and he showed it. That was actually my next little point here. Graf was in the rookie face-off.
They just want to get him some reps, and a veteran guy to show the young guys how to be an NHL player. That helps.
I thought maybe there would be a rule against this. It's called the rookie face-off. He's not really a rookie. He's played like 40-something games, hasn't he?
Yeah. I don't know what the rules are, like who's not allowed to come in, but I don't mind it. Cause
I don't mind it.
He's a veteran leader,
right?
Of course. He's not like, it's not like a guy who's played hundreds of games.
But among guys who played at most like 9 to 11 games, he's a veteran, right?
So he's played 40 NHL games.
Sure,
it's not half a season.
It's good.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Solid.
Yeah.
And he looks solid. I really like Colin Graf. I really like his game. I'm glad that he decided to come to the Sharks for the opportunity to get the ice time. He's going to get it, right? So, and we'll talk a little bit about the roster breakdown in just a little bit later on here. But yeah, that was one of the things I thought was kind of interesting, was that Colin Graf is not a rookie, but he's in the rookie face-off. He's like, okay, sure. But yeah, again, some veteran, if you will, leadership, and I think it paid off. So good for him. Musty here, Quentin Musty. There was a specific point I wanted to make about this here. Quentin Musty showed off his two-way play. And that was kind of like what everybody was saying about this game in particular.
Right? Well, originally that was the knock.
Yeah, the knock on him was he's good offensively, but what else can you bring? Apparently, having some time not forced into the NHL where he was able to go against his peers and work on his game did him well. So he came back and was able to, don't roll your eyes at me. He was able to work on that part of his game, improve it, and now it's something that stood out, something that they're saying, hey, I really appreciate the two-way game, right? Same thing with Colin Graff. We talked about Colin Graff even last season. Same thing with him. Hey, I need you to be able to generate offense. That's awesome. You're able to do that. Okay, now I need you to be able to work well on the PK. I need you to get a better defensive side of your game, right? And so everything that they're asking him to do, he's doing that, and that's why he's the veteran of this. He's got 40 games of NHL experience now because they trust him, because he learned that stuff in the AHL or wherever else he came from, and was able, or Quinnipiac, I think was first, and then he played in the AHL. But that's why he got those games, because he was able to take that experience, work on it, hone it, and then bring that to the NHL level.
Yeah.
So for Quentin Musty, good for him. I know there was injury trouble, there was contract dispute or a trade he wanted to get done, right? Yeah. He wanted all that stuff, he wanted it out of there, but I think it was out of Sudbury. Glad that he was able to continue on with the season and not just kind of sit there and wait. And it was able to work on that part of his game, and it apparently has paid off.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping he can make this team out of camp, and it's looking good so far. I mean, again, he's against other rookies. We'll see when they get to more of the actual training camp and preseason games. Hopefully he's still not cut at that point and can get some reps in against more established NHL players to see where his game really is, if he really needs to come down. Now, don't freak out if he is sent back down. He would be going to the AHL because he's old enough now. So he could be on the Barracuda. But power forwards, which is what he is going to be, or is, take a little bit longer than other forwards do, even third and fourth line guys. They just, first of all, they have to get a little bit bulkier, a little bit bigger, but hone in on their skills, and it just, their path is a little bit slower. Almost like a goalie. Like, the goalies just take so much longer. And defensemen. Everyone pretty much. But defensemen especially, that they're... it takes them till they're about mid-20s before they're hitting their stride and doing pretty good. Except for the outliers. There's always outliers that are just ridiculous freaks of natures. But for the most part, mid-20s, you're seeing those guys hitting their stride and being regular NHL defensemen.
Now, a guy that we're both excited about, I think, that was in this game on the second line, Chernyshov. Kind of a ghost, apparently, and then that actually showed up in the second game because he got demoted from the second line to the third line. Now, whoever was there in the third line and got bumped up, I don't think it was a promotion so much as Chernyshov just wasn't getting it done, which is interesting because he was playing alongside Misa in that first game, and again, the pair of them know each other very well from playing together in Saginaw. So it was kind of interesting that didn't work out as well as they had hoped in that first game. Chernyshov gets bumped off of that line and ends up playing on the third line. I don't know that he really did much there either.
I mean, he's going to take some time because he's coming in and what did he get? 3 games with the Barracuda, I think, at the very end of last season, and then in the playoffs, I think he only played 1 or 2. So,
but I think he scored 2, which is good for him.
Right, but he's going to need more time. He's not a guy. I don't think this guy is going to make the Sharks roster this season. I think he's going to spend. He'll probably be one of those guys that's starting in the AHL, starting the Barracuda, right, and get some cups of coffee. There's going to be a lot of those guys we're going to see this season. And it also depends on injuries to the Sharks players and who they have to call up and stuff. But he's going to have to work his tail off and hone in his game and play a more well-rounded game so that coaches can trust him so he can get the ice time and then do his thing.
So in this game, well, in the previous game, we talked about how the Sharks got on the board in about 30 seconds, right? This game went completely the other direction.
Yes.
I believe it was 15 seconds into the game.
First shift.
They get scored on right away. One of the defensemen decides to pinch, and then it goes 2-on-1 the other way, back of the net. And then not long after that, they end up scoring a second goal. I think it was like a minute and a half into the game,
that,
right? And so the Sharks end up going down. Sharks rookies end up going down 4-0 in the first period. Just a very shark way to start that game, isn't it? Right?
Here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy.
The first game, you're like, oh yeah, I know we're feeling good. We got this all-star prospects team right here. It's fantastic. It's amazing. 4-0 after the first, right? So, of course, the doom and gloom, and some people may have shut that TV off You should know by now. You never shut off the TV when you're watching the Sharks.
Yeah.
You just never know what's going to happen, even if it's just the prospects. The Sharks end up coming back to win this one 8-5. Now, one of them was an empty netter, but who cares? 8-5. It's ridiculous. To go on an 8-1 run after you're down 4-0 in the first. Bonkers.
Yeah. No, it was nuts. I watched all these highlights of this game because I didn't get to watch it live, and it was incredible because the Sharks scored 2 quick ones.
Yeah.
So that first of all, LA changed their goalie. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes,
did you
I
see
did.
who came in?
I did, and it fell apart right after that, didn't it?
Matthias Sholl.
Sholl.
Spelled Sholl. And I looked this up. He's from Laguna Beach, I think.
Just absolutely freaking embarrassing.
This guy lets in 7 goals.
Yeah, there. See, there. You got to put the tag back up on the screen there. There it is, Aaron Sholl.
Yes.
It's spelled just like that, only Matthias.
Right. He lets in 7 goals. Overtime. So Sharks scored 2 quick ones, so made it 4-2. Then they scored another one to make it 4-3. Then they tied it. Then they took the lead, so they're up 5-4. I think they got another to go 6-4, and then LA got one back, so it was 6-5. And then they made it 7-5, and then they got the empty netter to make it 8-5. But it was just incredible. They didn't stop. They kept fighting.
They kept the foot on the gas.
Yeah.
To score 8 goals in 2 periods.
That's a good confidence booster to start your season, start the year, because they're all just rookies. It's not quite training camp, but you're getting going, right? And it's building a winning culture, which is what Greer keeps talking about. Build the winning culture down below, down at whatever level you're at, win, right? Then you go into the Barracuda, win.
Yeah.
Then you're getting called up to the Sharks, and right now the Sharks they're not winning, right? In the last 5-6 seasons they've been losing. So you don't want that loser mentality to keep going in that cycle and everything else. So if you could build a winning culture and then carry that in, slowly bring it in, things are going to start turning around for the Sharks.
Big defenseman Haoshi Wang or Wong. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right or wrong. The second Haoshi though is the first name, because it's supposed to be that as opposed to Simon, which everyone was calling him as his American name. But he wants to be known as Haoshi. So Haoshi Wang gets into a fight. Now this one was a very interesting fight because he kind of did like this judo flip and got him to the ground. And I don't know if he understands fight etiquette, but he was pounding this guy on the ice. Like they were
after
both
he fell.
He did the judo flip and put him down, and then he just started wailing on him. And like the other guy grabbed him and turned him, and they were both like rolling around. His legs, if you watch his legs, were like kicking this way and that. Like
That's
he was
what's scary.
Yeah,
man.
he was kicking his legs trying to get like momentum for the punch. But like the refs on top, and like the refs getting kicked in the head with his skate. I'm like, dude, you gotta back that off just a little bit. Yeah. But I appreciate the enthusiasm at least. The guy was ready to drop the gloves. I'm probably in defense of a teammate. I couldn't quite get my eyes on the entire thing because I had other things going on. But I just happened to see that highlight of him like kicking on the ground, just like as he's trying to get momentum to just throw more haymakers. I'm like, but the guy's on the ice. You stop, you know. Yeah. But he'll learn. It's all good. But anyway, it's good to see the big man ready to drop the gloves. So
how big is this guy again?
He's 6'6" or 6'7".
I want to say 6'6".
Okay, because the guy he fought with,
6'7".
I think was 1 inch taller than him. And
oh my God,
was
really?
6'6", and the other guy was 6'7".
Jeez, two monsters.
Seriously,
right
UFC.
there.
Yeah, Nick, I'm telling you, look for the replay, buddy. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. His legs were like he was trying to swim. He was kicking, you know.
I don't want to hear about freaking Fragile, okay?
Well, yeah, I think the referee might have been talking about Fragile if he got caught by one of those skate blades, but. In any case, so that was just an interesting one. I thought I'd bring that up because anytime you've got like a huge defenseman like that, you always wonder, man, is this guy going to drop the gloves or what? Like they are an A for me, right?
Yeah, Chara,
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's again in the rookie faceoff at least he was willing to fight a rookie. So
he's 6'6", and watch 6'6". He grows more.
Yeah,
from calling C28.
Yeah, and the guy that he fought was 6'7", I think is what they said. That's
gotcha.
Fine.
All right.
Anyway, you guys know how this works. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the roll call. Aaron, why don't you fire away with the roll call question?
Absolutely. All right. Tell us what city you are watching us from, and do you think Misa and or Dickinson are going to make this Sharks roster? What do you think? Let's start with Misa.
Well, before we start with that, why don't we go through who's on the roster because we have problems.
Yes.
We have problems.
I wouldn't say problems.
Oh, we got problems.
It's a good problem.
Okay, it's a good problem. Sure, why not? But it's a problem.
It's a good problem that the Sharks haven't had in a long time.
Let's run through the forward group, okay? So for the forward group, we have, and I'm going to look off screen, I apologize. Celebrini, Eklund, Toffoli, Smith, Skinner, Wenberg, Kurashev, Gaudet, and this is where we start maybe getting into the maybe fringe guys, right? That might be in the roster, might not be. But so far, I'm at, what is it, 8? I can't count. So that's 8. Then you've got Grunstrom, Delandria, Goodrow, and Reeves. Now, Goodrow and Reeves, I think, are definitely going to be a revolving door coming in and out of that lineup, right, as needs see fit. Right. Fine. But that right there is 12 forwards. Now, I did not say Colin Graf. And the reason I did not say Colin Graf, though I think he should be on the NHL roster because he is an NHL player, veteran of 40 games. Okay, don't laugh. I think he should be there, but at the same time, he's waiver exempt. And they can move him up and down. And we've already got 12 names that I just named off, right? So he would be number 13. Now, yes, you could put him in the healthy scratch and just let him sit there and put him in and out, whatever else. But what was the roll call question? Is Misa going to make this roster or not? Now, Misa's not the only guy. We talking about Misa, but also Musty. Is he going to get a shot at the NHL? Maybe, maybe not. I think no, but maybe, maybe not. Lund put a couple goals in, took a headshot, got knocked out of that game, but Lund is a name that's kind of thrown his name in the hat there too. As well as, hard to forget, Ostapchuk.
Yeah.
Now, they traded for Ostapchuk to get him as that third, fourth line center and kind of be that defensive presence there. And I feel like they're going to want him to get that experience sooner than later. So he might be a guy that feeds into the NHL roster as well. But again, that's what we're talking about, like 17 guys that could be vying for positions right there. Now, some of them are going to be in and out of the lineup, yes, but I think at most you're looking at 2 extra healthy scratches. That puts you at 14 forwards. So 3 of these guys are not going to be on that NHL roster. Now, let's just say Musty right away, probably not. Lund right away, probably not. I think Ostapchuk pushes for that job, and that leaves Misa, right? Yeah. So I don't know that there's going to be room. Now, if they're going to have Misa in there, they need to unload, I think, one of these guys. Yeah. Now, New York, you owe us New York,
right? Is
that
why Clowe went there?
Maybe.
To get on the inside.
That's why he came to us, make a little conversation, and go back to New York and have a little, you know what I'm saying?
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about him in a bit, yeah. But you see what I'm saying? This is the problem that the Sharks have now, is that we've got 17 guys that could legitimately be fighting for a roster spot. Now, again, maybe not Musty or Lund, but the rest of them, including Misa, they're either signed to the Sharks and are not able to get pushed down, or they might be deserving of a spot. So that's the dilemma that they're in right now.
I don't think we can even say right now yet. Like, we got to wait till training camp, and then who knows if injuries pop up. So then they can just defer that decision even later. But I think from what Greer had said, this was more about Dickinson than anything than Misa. But about the defenseman.
Well, we were getting there. I was just getting through the forward group.
No, I know, but his quote is, if they force my hand, I will do something about it. AKA, I'll make a trade and make room on the roster. So it's a good problem to have. You're not scrambling for NHL caliber players at this point. Now you kind of are overstocked. You're overcooking your prospects, which is what he wanted to do, and making them force him to make a decision on doing something to get them in the lineup, right? So this is exactly where Greer said he wants to be, and this is the point where he's finally at, where these players are going to be forcing his hand to do something. Did we just change? Oh,
I think we changed colors.
Yeah, they're just dimmed over here.
I'm for. I go because the roll call went away. Got it. Okay.
Yes. God, is this your first
we are
it's been a while.
We are high tech, but it's been a hot minute for sure. I mean, come on. The first thing he said when we were about to go live, what did he say? He says,
How do I do this again?
Which button do I press? What do I? I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a great show. But, no,
not that button. Don't hit that button.
Wrong button.
Wrong button. He says. Oh man, guys, just okay, here we go.
Colin C here. Igor Afanasyev could be a dark horse to make it too. That's there. I mean, there's a couple guys that could be dark horses here.
I mean, he would be a pretty dark horse for me because he didn't even play in the AHL. So I mean, I don't know. Like, he was one of those guys. Wasn't he the guy that he's like, I don't even want to play in the NHL anymore. I just want to go elsewhere. And then he decided to come back. I'm not even sure what his story was anymore. It's been so long with him.
Yeah.
But anyway, there are other guys that might be kind of in that putting their name in the hat for that one as well. But like, you could see what I'm saying. what I'm saying is we do have quite a bit of guys now that, now obviously some of these guys just put them in the AHL and then that's go develop, right?
Yeah.
But if you want Michael Misa to play in the NHL, then something's got to give here, right? Now, we talked about Dickinson just a bit. Let's go ahead and go over the defensive side of this roster, right? And this one, I mean, there's only 8 real names here, but it's almost worse. So you've got Ferraro, you've got Liljegren, you've got Orlov, Klingberg, which is, I'm excited about him. Nick Leddy, I'm excited about. Mook Medulin making the return, hell yeah. And then you've got Darnay and Jack Thompson, who's also a friend of the show.
Yes.
Oh, geez, there it is. Yeah, that's the... Every single time. Gets me every time. Anyway, so that's 8 guys right there, right? Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, 6 guys usually on defense, you're suiting up, and then these other 2 would be healthy scratches if that was the case. You had all 8. So I don't think you're going to have all 8, first of all. One of those guys I think is going to end up probably not being on this roster.
1 or 2 of those guys will be injured at some point. They're not going to be playing 82 games either.
Sure. Yeah.
So, again... the situation where they kind of come up and down between the AHL, but only certain players can do that.
That's what I'm saying.
They're eligible, right? So, again, as Greer said, if they force him to make a move, he will make a move. Now, Orlov, I think, is unmovable. He has I think he has a no-trade clause for the first year. Next year, he does not. So he's pretty much staying. And I don't think the Sharks would want to move on. I don't think they would
want to move him either, yeah.
Ferraro's a guy that we could see get moved.
Yes.
There's a lot of interest still from the league for Ferraro. So, what sucks for Ferraro is that's what's the whole story for him is what are you going to do? Are the Sharks going to extend you? Right. Are you going to get traded? What's going to happen? So I feel bad because he's going to have to answer a lot of those questions. We're going to see that week after week after week. Liljegren is, I think there might be a little bit of interest of him because he's a decent puck-moving right-handed defenseman that is still on the younger side. Yeah. So if the Sharks wanted to move him, I think some teams might be interested in him too. The other one's Darnay. As cool as his picture is and everything, and as monstrous as he is, that's a 7th defenseman. That's a guy that is...
That's a scary dude.
Kind of like Ryan Reeves, right? I think it's based on lineup, who you're playing against, who's injured or not. He's going to be the main guy that I think will be scratched and brought in when needed.
But you still have a 23-man roster. And right now, the guys that I'm counting up, it's more than 23, right?
Thompson, I think, is the one that's kind of the odd man out, and I feel bad. Good dude. Looks like a bright future in the NHL.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he's kind of that in-betweener, right? Where he's not good enough to make it out right.
Yeah.
Kind of is still on the younger side. And he's already been moved from Tampa Bay to the Sharks. So I think that could be a key piece. Again, another right-handed shot defenseman that the Sharks need.
Yeah.
But other teams desperately need as well. So I think those kind of guys. So I'd say Ferraro, Thompson, and Liljegren, I think, have interest around the league, right? Or teams have interest in those guys. Yeah. Klingberg, I just don't see him playing 80 games. Probably 60.
Sure.
I think
but my point is, he would be a healthy scratch. He's still on the roster.
I wouldn't say healthy scratch. I'm expecting him to be injured.
Okay,
when he's healthy, he's playing.
Sure.
He's playing. He's not going to be healthy scratch.
Okay.
But Leddy could be. I could see Leddy getting scratched here and there. He's kind of older. He was already getting scratched when he was in... Was he in Detroit? Where was he? I can't remember where he ended up before that. But there are some moving pieces here. And guys that could get scratched. Guys that I think could also be easily moved.
But my point, they have to be on the IR to not count as a roster spot, right?
Correct.
So they would need to be on IR.
But I'm expecting Klingberg to be on IR and probably a handful of times this season. Because he had that hip replacement not hip replacement, sorry. Hip, like the shaving of the ball, I think, of his hip, which is the same thing that Patrick Kane went through.
But so there you have your 23-man roster. He gets hurt, and then you're going to bring one of these other guys back up from where? They can't go to the AHL. They're going to get claimed. That's my point. You've got a lot of these guys that they have to start on an NHL roster. They're not going to start in the AHL. You see what I'm saying?
No,
so they may get hurt later on in the season, but those guys are coming from where?
Right, but I'm also saying Dickinson could come up.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I mean.
Absolutely.
One of those guys get hurt, he's going to be the first guy. If he's not on the team. If he's not making the roster out of camp.
Right, and somebody else had said it too, and we didn't get to it yet, but what my point was, those 8 defensemen, before you even count Dickinson and Kenyoni, as one of the other guys in
Yes.
the chat had said. Those are the other two. And I think Kenyoni is going to make a solid case as well. Now, Kenyoni, if you looked at the rookie face-off, the second game, they didn't even suit him up. They were like, whatever, we've seen enough. You're awesome, right? So in the first game, they had him on the first line power play over Dickinson.
Yep.
And he was running that. He was looking great. So I don't think that they need to see anything else from Kenyoni. I think they like what he brings.
I think that's another guy that's going to be kind of like where Thompson was, 30, 40 games.
Sure.
Like going back and forth.
Yeah.
I can see that for sure.
So, and again, you're talking about 8 guys before you even talk about Dickinson and Kenyoni. Now, those 2 guys can go up and down, but the rest of them can't.
Let's say Ferraro gets traded like right before the season starts or
My
training
point.
camp, right?
That's
now,
my point.
Now what? How's it look?
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
a
what
little
I'm
more
saying.
open.
It's something's got to give. If Misa's going to join this team, because you don't want to go back to the OHL, you don't want him to go back to Saginaw. Why? To get 150 points? Who cares, right? That's not going to teach him anything. He's just going to go out there and torch everyone. Unless you're telling him, I want you specifically to work on this niche tool of your game, then okay, fine. But other than that, what's he going to? He's just going to beat everybody more.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't think he's going to learn anything going back to the O. So to me, it makes more sense to have Misa on this roster. So does Misa make the team? I say yes. Because the alternative is not the AHL. He can't go to the AHL.
He can't go to the AHL, but I think he could still do NCAA.
He could do NCAA, although, and you said he has to say this, but he did say he has no intentions of going to college.
Right.
So the only other place he could go, European leagues.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
And it's not going to happen. So I think he plays in the NHL. Look, you guys know how I felt about Will Smith, right? I don't think that he came in. You want to recap it?
No, absolutely
okay,
not.
all right.
No.
I don't think he was ready for the show. Okay, and I think the first half of the season proves that. But if they're going to have that mentality with a hot young talent, I don't think Michael Misa is any worse a player than Will Smith is. And I mean like right now. Comparing them. Not comparing the rookie seasons. I mean right now. I don't think Misa's any worse off than Will Smith. So if they were willing to be patient with Will Smith in the first half of last season, I can't imagine they wouldn't do the same, extend the same courtesy to Michael Misa.
Misa's also a year younger than Will Smith was when he started. Yeah, because he's still 18.
Yes, because he went and did an extra year in the NCAA.
Yeah.
Did Will Smith?
Yes.
So yes, he is younger on his rookie season as well.
Dylan has a good point here.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier likely. I think you mistyped that.
Okay.
Greer trades Thompson for a 6th or a 5th round pick and just tries to, rather than just sending him down and getting claimed, because I think he would get claimed.
I think he would get claimed too.
Because he's not exempt from waivers, so
Yeah.
I think absolutely he would be taken. I mean, they could also send down Desharnais or somebody else and hope that they get claimed, and if they don't, then they're down in the minors.
Yeah.
And that's also
Providing
an option, right?
Veteran leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could see that happening. I mean, if Desharnais gets claimed, it's kind of like, okay.
I think it was Kellen Foster said Desharnais is AKA Gru.
Yeah.
That's terrible, man. Come on. Let's see.
Also, you got to remember, when a team claims somebody, they have to be played in the NHL. And if you try to send them back, the original team could get them back.
Right, exactly.
So you have to think about all the other teams. Who would they slot into any other team?
Exactly. Who would want him? Not just want him, but who would want him to
play
on their NHL roster, right? So, yeah, I think you're right. It would have to be a team that needs a whole lot of help defensively.
Maybe they got hit with injuries and stuff.
Yeah,
you never know.
Could be. But if you do that early enough in the season, there's probably no injuries to fill, right? So who knows? But in any case, that kind of is the... there's one other guy. Haviland. I forgot. Haviland. Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to make it. I don't even think he will.
I think he needs
what I am saying is he's at least made a case for himself.
But isn't he coming off of European ice?
He is.
Yeah, he needs a full season at definitely the AHL.
He was playing last season in the SHL Alice, but whatever. It's this tier 2 league essentially. What?
Oh, I was a lot last month.
See, I got to give him material to work with.
Quick,
that's why. Yeah, he's
quick.
fast. Yeah, he's good.
He's faster than us right now.
Despite starting the show off with which button do I press, he's on.
Get on with it.
Get on with it.
Yes.
Get on with it.
Oh.
Get on with it.
Yes. Get on with it. And let's get on with it then. So the question goes back.
Get on with it.
I saw him actually 2 days ago.
Yeah.
No, yesterday. Yeah, he was coaching the 12U team we had to play against. Very good team, by the way. And obviously well coached. In any case, it goes back to the question that we posed as the roll call, and thankfully we did this the right way, where we ask you guys, then talk about it so that you guys put the responses in there, and we can go back and check what they said. So, what are the people saying about whether or not Michael Misa and or Sam Dickinson will be playing?
Oh man,
now I gotta Sharks. Now you gotta scroll
so far back.
You just gotta keep going.
Let's see.
And that's our show.
And that's the show.
Nick is saying they both make it after a trade happens because there's 51 and 50 contracts. Peter St. John said, I think it's probable both guys would not get much going back to the CHL, and NCAA is out. I don't know if NCAA is out because I don't know that rule for that. If they sign their entry level contract, normally it would be void. Like you can't play in the NCAA because you're no longer an amateur. Right. But they just have that new agreement with the CHL where you can send a CHL player to the NCAA, which, I don't know. Let's see. Dylan said, hoping in training camp they makes a decision on Delanger, Grunstrom, and waive them. That'll open up a forward spot at least. Let's see. What do you see?
Haviland's an AHL lock, says Colin Foster.
Yeah, I agree with that. It will do him so much good because he'll get more playing time there anyway. Because if he's going to make the NHL team, he'll get limited minutes.
No, and that was my point. I think he's a guy that's on the radar now. I think he's made a good case for himself. I think he showed up in the rookie showcase. I thought he played well. Mm-hmm. So I think he's just making a case. Do I think he's going to make the NHL roster? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think he's a lock, as you said, for the AHL. So anyway, continue.
Let's see. Man, okay. There's a lot in here. Sorry, I'm trying to get through all these. Colin said you need vets in the bottom 6. I don't see him waiving or trading Grunstrom, Delandry, or Gaudreau at around the same time. Not until the younger players can solidify themselves in the bottom 6.
Good point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
There you go. Kellen Foster, Misa, and Dickinson will play in the NHL. Dylan said Misa's 95% to make the roster, and Dickinson is 85%. I don't know where you got those percentages, but
off the top of the dome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Dylan knows what he's doing.
I think Dickinson has a better case than Misa.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like Dickinson is ready.
Okay.
I think his demeanor and everything about him is, and his physicality, he looks ready for the rigors of the NHL.
Okay.
Misa looks like he needs to still put on some more muscle to grind out 82 games.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do the kind of Will Smith plan where they scratch him, here and there to kind of give him a little rest. Because don't forget, and we talked about this last year, those guys coming in have never played 80 games a season. The most is probably 60, 50 with their playoffs and all their games. 50 to 60 games. So that's a lot of games. They're bunched more together. I mean, I was looking through the schedule, and because there's a big break for the Olympics this year, so it kind of compresses the schedule even more. There's a whole month, I think it's March, where they're playing every other day. There's no break. They have maybe a back-to-back here and there, and still one game, so it's 3 games in 4 days. That's a lot of games.
It's a lot. It is.
You don't get to do practice because you're traveling. You're just hopefully resting in between games, hopefully not getting... It's a mental game, too. We talked about this with both Will Smith, and we talked about it with Jack Thompson. Or, no, I'm sorry, we talked about it with Henry Thrun, of the mental grind of, hey, you make a mistake in this game, you don't have time to really think about it or dwell on it because you're already going to the next game.
You got to move on.
Yeah. So that's a very hard thing for them to learn.
So the quote you always give from the show that I haven't watched. The goldfish.
Beat off walls.
There you go. That's the one. Beat off walls. That's
Ted Lasso. Can you believe he's never seen Ted Lasso?
So it's on Apple
TV.
Yeah, I don't have that. That's why. I have so many other streaming services.
Get it.
Nah, that's okay. I don't need it.
Okay.
I'll just listen to you complain about it.
Extremely disappointing. Downright embarrassing.
That's the perfect quote right there.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. See, I'm with Wickedly Charming here. He says, Misa signed the ELC. He's NHL bound. Dickinson will stew in the AHL unless we trade a D-man. I'm more likely to agree with this here, mainly because, again, Misa, if you look at Will Smith, they gave him that treatment. I think they extend the same courtesy to Michael Misa, who was picked 2 spots ahead of where Will Smith was picked. And obviously different draft years, but I think they extend that courtesy to him. And as far as being NHL ready and needing to put on weight, when we looked at Macklin Celebrini, we said the same thing. Man, this guy needs to put on a little bit of muscle.
He's a little different.
He's different. Yeah. He's different. But like at the same time, you take a look at Michael Misa and the tool set that he brings. I don't see him, even when he's a little bit like lighter in terms of muscle mass and whatnot, I don't see him as the type of player that shies away from contact. I see him as a confident player, a confident puck mover, confident puck carrier. He doesn't mind taking a bump to make a play. This is the type of guy, and he has got a good two-way game. That's the other thing, right? So if you're going to, and again, I keep picking on Will Smith, I know. But if you look at the difference between those two players, and they were willing to put up with the lack of the defensive side for Will Smith for the longest time, and Will Smith still, for me, is not a guy that is going to be taking bumps. He wants to get rid of that puck before anybody gets on top of him. Michael Misa doesn't appear to be that type of guy. I think he's more suited right now for the NHL than Will Smith was. I don't think that necessarily he's going to shine in the NHL. Maybe won't even gather as many points as Will Smith did. But I certainly feel like he can jump in and do at least as well, given, again, what they were willing to do for another player that may not have been 100% ready. Now, as far as Sam Dickinson goes, and why I think he spends more time like Wickley Charming does in the AHL, it's simply because he can. He's 19 years old, and again, as long as that CBA rule gets pushed through for this season, yeah, he can. He can play in the AHL, and it's not an issue, right? So I think that's a unique opportunity for him to be able to get some experience that's greater than juniors, but not quite for the NHL. I'm talking about Dickinson now, yes.
Yeah,
because
they don't have the rule in place yet, though.
It's not in place yet, but that's the idea, is that they're pushing for that.
But
right?
next year, it won't help, because next year he'll be 20.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So he could go anyway.
So next year it won't matter. But I'm saying is this year, if they do happen to push it through, which I don't know. For me, I'm confident that they do. You say that they won't.
After reading what I just read, I don't think it's going to happen. Plus, the season's starting soon, so I think they're kind of running out of time to get this ratified and done. I don't see them moving quickly, is my point. I don't see them going, oh yeah, let's push this through so we can get it done and get these guys into the AHL team. Yeah. The AHL's all for it because they're going to get better talent. Yeah. But the CHL wants to hold on to that talent as long as they can.
So if that's the case and they don't get this thing pushed through a year sooner, and obviously for next season it won't matter because like Aaron said, he'll be 20 at that point, right? So if that's the case, then yeah, I don't know. I honestly... I love what Sam Dickinson brings and what he will be. Right now, he's still a little too run and gun for me. And yes, they can iron that stuff out. But how many guys are you going to put in the NHL who are going to figure themselves out, right? I just don't know if that's a good recipe for success. On top of the fact that we've already got like 8 defensemen, 9 if you count Cagnoni, right? So I just don't know that it makes a lot of sense for Sam Dickinson to force his way onto the roster when he's a cowboy out there, man. He's like behind the opposing team's net, just having fun.
He's gonna wreak havoc, man.
You know?
I think you pair him with somebody that could be more of a stay-at-home defenseman. And right now, the right-handed shot defensemen that are those guys, we don't have any kind of stay-at-home. It's Liljegren, Klingberg, Desharnais. Yeah. Letty can play both left and right, even though he's left-handed. And Jack Thompson is the other one. But none of those guys are all kind of puck-moving offensive defensemen, right? Which is kind of what... He's more of a two-way. I think Dickinson's more of a two-way because he's a better defensive defenseman compared to those other guys. But he's also very raw because he's very young.
You know what? Wickley Charming, you are absolutely correct. Polkamp. The only reason I'm not bringing Polkamp up is because I believe he had already committed.
He's going back to Denver.
Yeah.
Is that where he's at?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Regardless, I know that he's not going to be in the Shark system this season.
Yeah.
He's going back to wherever he was playing. That's the only reason that I haven't brought up Polkamp. In my eyes, Polkamp is one of those guys that as soon as he's ready for the show, get him in here. I mean, I would love to see him now.
I think another guy that's going to be a full year with the Barracuda before he gets up to the Sharks. But also getting cups of coffee and stuff. But within a year, there's going to be a lot more space in the blue line.
Absolutely.
Look at
yes.
this. Right here. Do you see that?
100%.
Out of the 8 defensemen that you named, 1 is signed through next season.
Yep.
1. And that's Dmitry Orlov. So this is the year. Again.
No, next year is the year.
No, this is the year. If those guys push, Dickinson pushes and he's ready, these guys are easy to move.
Getting traded this season.
They're easy to move because it's their last year of their contract.
Right.
So Greer is not baiting them, but challenging them.
Yeah.
Challenging them to rise up and force his hand to make a move. He is set up perfectly to make these moves. He is really, people love to say the 3D chess thing, right? Like he's really has such a good plan and such a good feel and pulse on this organization.
Yeah.
And we haven't even talked about all the stuff that he's done where he's basically moved all of the old regime's prospects are almost all gone at this point. There's not many left.
Peter St. John wants to know if we really do have 8 defensemen. On paper, yes, we do have 8. As far as guys taking up contracts, yes, we do have 8. So if you're making a commentary on they're not any good, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you on some of them. Sure, fine.
Someone asked earlier about Jack Thompson.
Yeah.
He is not waiver exempt, so he would have to go on waivers.
Yeah.
They asked specifically.
He would get picked.
Yeah.
He would get taken. Yeah.
But he is not waiver exempt, so
Yeah.
that's 8 guys not waiver exempt. None of them are waiver exempt. The ones that we listed that are on the roster.
Dan Moore says, I think we're going to learn a lot about Polkamp this year. He's going to be the guy in Denver now. Yes. Who was... it wasn't Bouillon, was it? I forget. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know
It might have been.
It might have been. But yeah, so he's going to be the guy now on the blue line, the offensive defenseman at least in Denver now. So... again, a guy that I've seen a couple times on the prospect scrimmages and whatnot that they've had a couple years now, and he's impressed me each time. So yeah, he's fantastic for me.
Dylan just said, I wouldn't worry about our right-handed D problem. There are 5 right-handed D prospects in the top 15 of the upcoming draft in 2026.
Fair point.
All 5 of them are projected to be first and second pairing defensemen.
Wow.
Yeah. So very strong defenseman, right-handed shot specifically defenseman coming up in the draft. Which I expect the Sharks to be around that 10th to 15th pick this season. They're not going to make playoffs, but I also don't think they're going to be in the basement like they have been. So kind of where I expected them to be last year was about the 8 to 10. I think 10 to 12 would be more this year.
So
Talking about the bottom of the league, the bottom 10, 12 team.
Yeah, so this is where I was saying, Z Bouillon, thank you. It was Z Bouillon.
Yeah.
See, I knew what I'm talking about. Come on, y'all. Yeah, maybe not. This is what I was talking about with Peter St. John made fun of me at the very beginning of the show. He says, wow, that was a quick turnaround when I said that I wasn't so sure about the line in the sand, saying that they were going to be a bubble team. Now, this is the reason why right here, as Aaron pointed it out, is that we do have so many guys that are on one-year contracts, and it's very clear that Mike Greer set this up this way, as you said, on purpose to be able to move these guys. Mm-hmm. In his head, we're already sellers.
There's a lot that can go right, and there's a lot that can go wrong.
Yes.
So it's very volatile.
On top of that we have a lot of one-year contracts. Now, he's counting out on defense.
Right.
Check the forward group as well, bud.
Yeah, the forward is a bunch, too.
We have a lot of one-year contracts. He can move a lot of this roster, any which one of them, any which way. He'll be happy to do it, get something back in return. Fantastic, good for him. That's really going to screw up a lot of the chemistry. And I don't think he cares about that at all, and that's fine. I'm on board with that. But that was, for me, I guess, a bit of an oversight, was that there were this many one-year contracts, and so the Sharks will probably be moving on from these guys, not just at the deadline, throughout the season. So if you want to get Michael Misa in there, you want to get Sam Dickinson in there, these trades are going to start happening sooner than later, and it's going to be happening from the start of the season all the way through trade deadline. Mm-hmm. If we had this roster and this was going to be, hey, we're going to try to give all these guys the whole year together, I think I'd be closer to where I'm saying they're going to be that bubble. But because we have so many one-year contracts by design, I think he knows we're going to be selling now, selling then, selling here, selling there. It's just going to be a constant, just everybody going to be going out throughout the season is my point. So yes, I don't think that I'm accurate anymore in saying that this season they'll be that bubble team. I think if everybody that we have was going to stay here for the whole year, I think maybe, but with a lot of guys probably on their way out, I don't think so anymore.
Well, Shang, if I knew that answer, then I wouldn't have. We would have started off better.
He just saw wickedly charming saying sports writers are trying to connect Kaprizov. He spelled it wrong, but Kaprizov from the Wild to San Jose.
Yeah.
Did you hear the news about Kaprizov?
So for those who did not hear,
$16 million a year.
he was offered a 8-year contract.
Yeah.
I think it was 8 years or 7. Is that now only 7?
Well, it's going to be 7, but it doesn't matter. It would have been $16 million per year, making him the highest paid player in NHL history.
And he declined it. And there's a couple reasons why he could have declined it. One, he wants out of Minnesota.
Sure.
Not as likely. 2, the cap is going up so much in just in 3 years that $16 million will be not as good as it sounds right now. It would be if he just signed like a 3-year contract now, and then he's still going to be a top player, then sign the big contract in 3 years from now for another 7 years. That's probably more likely what it was. It's more. My guess is more about the term.
Okay.
I don't think he hates Minnesota, which people kind of are like, oh, jumping on it like we should go get Kaprizov.
So tell me how they're connecting this to San Jose.
Well, who has a lot of cap space?
Okay, fine, but
who has a lot of prospects? Who has a lot of things that they could move?
Who's the GM?
Right? No, Bill Guerin.
Greer. Greer's not gonna. I don't think Greer's the type to be giving out $16 million to a free agent. No. That's what I'm saying.
Well, maybe not to Kaprizov, but
you know what I'm saying though. Like
Celebrini, maybe.
Okay, fine, fair enough. But like, I don't think he's the type that's going to be giving
he's
that
already
kind of
said
money.
that.
So like, where's the connection?
No,
right?
I'm putting water on this fire. I don't think it's
douse it out.
Yeah,
there you go.
I think it's silly. It's daydreaming, right? It's just like who is the hot prospect last or not prospect? The hot player that went to Vegas. Blanking on his name. Toronto.
Mitch Marner.
Mitch Marner. Everyone trying to pin the red tape all the way across the Sharks and figure it out. Yeah, no, not happening.
Pin the red on the donkey. What?
In the red like tape. The pins and the red things, like all the conspiracy things, like trying to,
yeah. The Always Sunny or whatever it is. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay. All right. Anything else about Kaprizov you wanted to say or whatever?
No. That's just out there again, and that's probably gonna be a storyline now because he's due for an extension and it hasn't signed, and it's going into camp and doing it's a big thing. So, another thing we'll have to douse with water.
We talked about them making it or not making it, whatever, but we have a clip here, I believe. Do we not?
We're talking about Misa signing his entry level contract.
Right.
So he just signed. What was it? This last week. I think he just finally signed. It took a while. Everyone was thinking like, oh, well, what's going on? Is he going to go to the NCAA? Is he going to do something else because he hasn't signed? So he finally signed it, and we have a clip here. I think it was that he signed it that morning. So this is a clip from the afternoon of the same day. Yeah. And they're asking him who he was planning to call and share the news with. So here's Michael Misa in his own words.
Yeah, well, I knew it was going to happen this morning. Haven't really I know my texts are probably pretty crazy. I haven't really checked anything, so probably going to call my parents later. My brother, just say what's up to them, and when I can, take them out for a nice dinner maybe.
What a child!
Take him out for a nice dinner.
Yeah, good kid. I'm not trying to knock him. He just looks so young. I mean, I guess I just feel and look old, but my God, man, that's a child. That's a child.
Well, every ELC is as the 18, 19, 20, so like I know we're gonna get older.
Oh,
and they're gonna
I
stay
understand.
18, 19,
I fully
20.
understand.
Okay, all right.
I fully understand. But there's some that come through, and you're like, wow, they look like they could play in the NHL because they look like men already. And I just don't think he is one of those. So I'm not knocking him. I love his play. I'm so excited that he's going to hopefully make this team. I want him to make the team, so don't get me wrong. But it's fun to see.
Yeah. I honestly, I do think he makes it. I think he makes the show. It doesn't make sense to me, the alternatives. So I think they'll make room for him. And again, if we go off of the historical treatment, right, Will Smith got that opportunity. I think they're going to extend the same opportunity to Michael Misa. So there you go. And I think Michael Misa brings more in terms of the two-way game. So I think he's going to have more to offer.
That's another thing. Yeah. The coaching will trust him.
Right.
So I think that helps him, obviously, because he's going to have more tools in his toolkit. Like Celebrini, right? He won't be on the score sheet every night. And is he doing something? Is he helping the team?
Right.
And he's going to be trusted in situations. Yeah. Maybe not penalty kill right away, but last minute on the ice, the net is empty. Or is he going to be on the ice? I think he would be.
I'm going to go off the script here just a little bit. Will Smith as the second line center.
Yes.
Do you think that's actually happening?
Well, they said it. Was it the end of last season? They said the plan is for him to
move back to center.
Yeah, I don't remember if
be
it
the
was
second
pre or
line center.
post draft and they said that. That's the thing. I
Yeah.
don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was before they drafted Misa.
Okay.
They said the plan was for him to be the second line center, and he was going to be working on that all. That's like what he was supposed to go and work on all summer, which is what I think he did. He was working on faceoffs and working. I can't remember who he was working with. He was working with NHL,
hopefully
other
Ricci.
NHL players. No, I mean outside of the Sharks. Like he was
I see.
training and you know they always get together and train and stuff.
US NDP guys or something like that.
Yeah. I want to say he was training. Was it him or was it just Celebrini? Celebrini was training with Crosby and McKinnon.
Celebrini was with Crosby and McKinnon.
Yeah, because they were talking about him making Team Canada.
How cool is that, man?
Oh yeah, and he's at that caliber.
Yeah.
He's with those guys. Those are his peers. It's nuts. I am like blown away that the Sharks. Like I knew Celebrini was gonna be good, but again, we talk about this all the time, right? I just didn't see him in that upper echelon of those guys, and he is so good and such. It's very rare that you see such hard work go with such great talent.
Absolutely,
and that's what really pushes it. You could be a good player or even a great player, but what makes you a superstar player is the hard work that you put in.
All the things that nobody else sees.
Yes.
Right? When the cameras aren't on and no one's watching you and you're in the weight room doing your thing or whatever the case is, right? Those are the things that elevate you to that level of greatness. And I'm sure, again, Dad helped a lot with that, right? But you know, it's something that with like even the younger kids and whatnot, it's that internal drive. If you have that internal drive, you could even be not quite as skilled, and it won't matter. You're going to be just as effective as the kid who's got some skill but is not quite as driven. You know
I was just talking this about with my son.
Oh, there you
my
go.
Eldest son. I said, you know, there's kids that we went to high school with that were stud athletes.
Yeah.
And who are the ones that actually went and made it professional sports? Because we have a couple in our class that made it professional sports.
Nice.
They weren't the best on the team. They were good players. I'm not saying they were bad players, but they weren't the best athlete at that time. But they were the hard workers that put in the work, and they made it to the big leagues.
Absolutely.
So, and I explained that to him, and he was like, kind of like, oh, he's 9 years old. So he's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, it's all about hard work.
There you go.
There you go. The more you know.
A little side note on this one too is as long as we're talking about trying to impart lessons to the kids, I was hearing Brody Brazil's interview with Michael Misa.
Yes.
And he was asking him about, what do you need to do to make sure that you stick in the NHL, that you can make it right away. That's what you want. That's your goal. That's what we want to do. And one of the things he said was that he wants to make sure that he's going to practice with a purpose. And I thought that was so insightful. And again, for a guy that's 18, 19, whatever he's going to be 19 soon, February I think it is. For a young guy like that to have that bit of wisdom and say to do it with purpose. And it sounds like, yeah, of course you would go with purpose, but no, I mean, most guys, when you go to practice and you're just like, well, whatever the plan is today, that's what we're doing. No, he's going in there with something in his mind, like, I'm going to work on this, I'm going to get better at that, I'm going to be, when I'm supposed to be doing forechecking, I'm going to be forechecking like hell, right? Every time I'm skating as hard as I can. I want to be done with my drill panting because I'm exhausted, right? Going with a purpose. So I just thought that was amazing. I shared that with my son. Actually, in the past week, I've noticed a huge uptick in the way that he's been playing, and it's because Michael Misa, thank you, buddy, for saying just those few little words, and it inspired some kids.
So it worked.
there you go. It worked. It worked. He's like, oh,
immediate results.
Yeah, I think I'll go out with purpose, and all of a sudden he's buzzing out there. I'm like, what? And here I was just trying to offer him Pokemon cards. I didn't realize I could just have him listen to Michael Misa. That's what it is.
Turns it around.
He did. He turned
Thank
it
you,
around.
Michael Misa.
Anyway,
Just send him a
just
thank
thought
you
that
note.
was cool. I
Send
wanted
him
to
a thank
share
you
it.
note.
You know what else is cool? Bobbleheads.
Guys,
Oh, come on.
get on with it.
I was. What else is cool? Bobbleheads, right?
Yes.
And we've got some nice little selection of bobbleheads here. Again, this one, they did my man wrong, okay? But we have a really awesome bobblehead coming up, the opening night. Now, Aaron, are you going to be at this game?
I haven't gotten tickets yet.
Okay.
I haven't decided yet. Maybe. Definite maybe.
I'm unsure, but I think there's still a deal to do a buy one, get one. I know this because I already bought the tickets, and then the next day they made an offer for the buy one, get one on the opening night tickets. Ooh. So I got hosed. So Jonathan Becker, I need some help. Anyway, no, check him out because I'm sure that offer is still out there somewhere in the ether.
Becker,
but
charge him double instead.
yeah. As long as you bring me into the Sharks locker room for the first time, that'd be great. It's hateful hateful over here. So you don't know if you're gonna go yet.
Yeah, I might.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, you guys let us know in the comments if you're going to go, because if you do, you're going to be picking up one of these beautiful things. Aaron, would you like to take it away?
Yeah, going back to last season with the sleepover.
Oh, yeah.
With Will Smith, Macklin Celebrini, and Tyler Toffoli. They each scored a goal in this game, and they were jokingly saying, if we all score, let's do a sleepover. So they did a sleepover. So they made a bobblehead for the sleepover, the notorious sleepover. So was it a double bobblehead plus another one, and they come together to form one, kind of like Voltron.
It's amazing.
And it's cute.
Like Voltron.
It's awesome. So yeah, I think that will look pretty good on the set. I don't think it'll fit in the circle form, so I think we'll have to have them next to each other. But
Put it on the desk.
Yeah. We put it right in the middle of the desk.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably right in the center here somewhere, but like right there.
Maybe we can affix it to the pie tin and have it sideways.
Now we're saving that.
Yeah, I gotta say the pie tin. Pie tin's important for the show.
Yes.
Yeah, solid
pretty
bobble.
cool.
I think it's a fantastic job with the bobble. Honestly.
That's gonna be a big box. That's like That's gonna be like a hefty thing to carry around.
Absolutely, yeah, because you got to have the whole two pieces in there and everything, right? But I don't know. I think with our track record of breaking bobbles on this set, it's probably not a good idea. But
that was the old set. The old set
really?
we had.
Is it? Well, let's see that Joe Thornton over there. Isn't that the one that fell out too?
That was taken off on purpose. The kids wanted to play with it. No, our old set we had a little rickety, with like a coffee table, right?
IKEA coffee table.
Yeah,
dude.
it was this little rickety thing, and if you bumped it, the bobbles would just go, like they would fly. And when we would have to move things on the set, super producer Jason broke a few on accident because it just
blame him.
Fell over.
The accident. He didn't want to.
He hated those things. He hated them. Anyway, we have a bunch of bobbles. I think we should fill this set out with bobbles behind us.
I honestly, I want you guys to comment on this, okay? I mean this honestly right now. I need you to comment on this. I would prefer that it looked clean and nice and clear. That's just me. But Aaron, being the shark fan that he is, he would like to fill it up with all kinds of shark memorabilia.
So much memorabilia. What am I going to do with it? Put it behind me on the set.
Give it to the people.
Well, we could do that too.
Okay.
We could do giveaways.
I want to know what you guys think. Just if you could tell me real quick, would you prefer like stuff everywhere, or would you prefer it look like we're actually like professional, even though we're not? So
I think one of the plans was we were supposed to be hanging jerseys. I think on the sides.
I want to get a mannequin, like a bust, and then put the jersey on the side there. But I did not have a whole lot of room over here to do it. Is the reason.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out.
Anyway. Oh,
there's super duper.
Okay, so that's the sleepover bobble thing. Again, I think a very good job by the Sharks team there, getting these guys in there. Look at that, it's fantastic. I love that they got the pull out. How did Foley end up with the pull out?
The rollaway.
Yeah,
the rollaway bed, not a pull out.
Well, whatever it is. So, like, how did he end up with that one?
Because they were already together. Smith and Celebrini were already in the room. That was their beds.
Respect your elders.
Whatever.
Come on.
A bet's a bet.
Whatever. Anyway, I think they did a great job recreating it. Anyway, moving on from that, this is a question that we've asked a bunch of times, and I think we all know the answer to it, but we're going to ask it again for some reason. But who will be the Sharks' captain, if they have a captain, this coming season?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious it's going to be Celebrini. The only thing I would say that is a chance is Toffoli. Maybe Toffoli could be a temporary captain before Celebrini. I don't know, but I think it's Celebrini's captaincy.
So
I think it's his
team.
team.
Put TC on his for the temporary captain for Toffoli? No. Okay.
What's his contract? He's got another 2 years, I think it is.
He's there for a couple more.
We
never even said how many of the guys are on 1-year contracts for the forwards.
For the forwards, and there's a chunk of them.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Toffoli's still here for a while. He's in 3 years.
Yeah,
total.
3 more years. Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be him, but...
the only reason I wouldn't... If he was here for a year, I could see it being him, because then at that point, he gets traded or doesn't, and then you give it to Celebrini. But I think it's going to be Celebrini.
So I also think it will be Celebrini. I don't think they're going to do it this year. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to wait.
Another year of alternate captains?
Absolutely. Now, I think you had brought up that Logan Couture is not actually retired yet. He's still the Sharks captain. Right.
I thought he was no longer the captain. I thought he said he was not going to be.
Really? I didn't catch that.
I thought that
was the case.
Part of the reason they did the whole thing of he's not retiring. I can't say retire.
But he's like giving up the captaincy? I must have missed that part then.
I thought so.
Okay. Well,
maybe I'm wrong.
I think regardless, still don't think that they give it to him this season just yet. And I think that he deserves it and that he will be. But for some reason, I don't know. I'm just not getting the vibe that it's going to happen this season. I would like it to.
If they were to.
Yeah.
He would set the NHL record for the youngest captaincy.
Yes.
So right now the record is Connor McDavid. He was 19 years old and 266 days. So he was close to turning 20-ish. Almost 20. If Celebrini were to do it, as of today, he is 19 and 94 days. I mean, that would break the record.
Yes.
They would need like an 18-year-old to be a captain to beat him, practically.
Right.
If someone else was to take over the thing. But it would be such a storyline that this will be the youngest captain in NHL history. I don't know. Last year, I don't think they should have done it, and I'm glad they didn't because I think he had so much pressure on him as it was, being the first overall pick, playing, all that stuff, the whole Calder race, like everything was just kind of a lot for him. I think now he's got a year under his belt. I think he's got a pulse of this team. I think he's looked up to as a leader and someone who voices his opinion. And, did he wear the A last year? I don't think he did.
No.
Maybe they start with the A, see how it goes.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Nick said the next captain is Sharks legend, Carey Price.
Carey Price?
We'll get to Carey Price in a little bit, actually. But, for as far as Macklin is concerned, yes, he will be the next Sharks captain as far as I'm concerned. I don't get the feeling that it's going to be this season. Now, where am I getting these feelings from? Just for me. There's no pulse on the team that I have no insights whatsoever. It's just how I feel. I don't feel they're going to give it to him. Do I think he would do just fine with the captaincy starting now? 100% absolutely. I think so. I think he'd be fine. Because again, for me, the captain isn't just the best player on the team, which in my opinion he happens to be. He's the most well-rounded already, right? But it's the guy that everybody is looking at for how do I treat my body going into the season? How much work am I putting in? This is, again, it's like the Kobe Bryant thing. I've likened him to Kobe before, where you hear all these stories about him going to the gym at 3-4 o'clock in the morning when everybody else is out partying or whatever it is, right? This is what this guy does. He goes out and he makes himself better, and that's all he cares about. And I get the feeling that Macklin is kind of in that same vein, and I think that other guys, regardless of age, would do well to follow a kid like that who knows where he's at, knows his trajectory, knows how to get there, and is willing to put in that hard work, right? To be able to go, as Misa said, with purpose in everything that he's doing. And I think as long as you've got a group of guys that are following that example 100%, that's a guy that I want as a captain. So do I get the feeling they're going to do it? No. Do I think he should be captain maybe this season? Sure. Do I think he will be? Absolutely he will be. 100% he will be. And again, it has not a lot to do with the fact that he's the best player. It has everything else. So that's my thoughts on it.
Leadership.
Yeah.
His leadership qualities.
100%.
If he is named captain anytime before mid-March,
yes,
he breaks the record. That's how big of a gap it is to help you better understand that. So I guess there's a chance they could make some trades at the deadline and then name him captain. Yeah. And still beat the record. I actually know when the trade deadline is. I didn't look up the exact date, but it's usually right around that.
Yeah, it's right in mid-March, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it happens.
Beginning of the season during the season?
I think beginning of the season.
Okay.
It happens.
Something to look out for, at least. And again, if you're not subscribed to us, we don't do these all the time. Right. We're trying to get back on the once a week schedule. We're honestly not even sure which day we're going to choose now because we've got some weird parental things going on with us now in terms of kids being off this direction and that direction. So again, for me, this is the reason that we would ask you to subscribe to the show because we're not even sure when we're going to be jumping on. This way you guys will know. You'll get the notification. You can get into the live show and chat. That's what we're having the most fun doing here. So if you aren't subscribed, please do hit that button and make sure you hit that bell for alerts. Just so that you can be here on time with us, which would be awesome. So there you go. I guess moving on from that, unless you have anything else to say. No, good. No. Carey, the legend, Price.
Yes. Traded to the Sharks.
This
is kind of known. It was known it was coming.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of had an idea, right?
It's his last year of his contract.
Yes.
He had signing bonuses that got paid out on September 1st. Either September 1st or August 3rd. I can't remember, but September 1st, let's say.
Prior to the trade. Who cares?
And once it hit that point, I think it was between the Sharks and a couple other teams that had cap space.
Yeah.
So the Sharks traded,
Gannon
Larocque, thank you, to Montreal, and they gained a 5th round pick coming back for this upcoming draft. Now, it seemed like a low return for taking on that salary cap, but the actual cash going out was minimal because of the signing bonus that Montreal paid. So the Sharks take on $10.5 million in salary cap space, but they're only paying them, I think, $2 million or something.
That's
like
actually,
that.
I think, less than that because I think insurance handled some of it or something too. But to me, it wasn't even about
It's not about
money.
the money.
Like, who cares?
But the only reason I bring up the money part is the value of the return of the draft pick. I think that affects it because it's kind of a value of how much cash you're actually paying or trading this cash to somebody is worth something, and that's the value.
See, I don't think Hasso-Plattner cares about just dumping $2 million here. I mean, it must be nice, right? But I don't think he cares about that.
It's less about him paying the cash.
Yeah.
It's the value of that getting traded to a team.
I think the value of the cash that's getting paid out is like nothing compared to the cap, because the cap determines if you can bring more players on or not. We're talking about billionaires who don't really care, just tossing money around.
Right.
There's no value there, right? Who cares if it was $2 million? Who cares if it was actually $14 million that they needed to pay out and the cap hit was somehow 10.5? Who cares, right? The thing that matters is the fact that that $10.5 million is taken out of your chunk of cap space to use. So to me, I don't care what the actual dollar amount is. To me, the value entirely is the cap space. So that's why I felt that the return was a little bit low. But there's a reason that the return felt a little bit low, and that's because the cap itself is going up, and therefore that $10.5 million isn't as valuable as it was even just last season.
Right. I also think there was kind of competition between other teams that wanted to take that on, and the Sharks were like, we'll take a 5th for it, and other teams were like, we want a 3rd or a 4th for it. So that could have been a part of it. I don't know, but the fact that there were other teams supposedly involved, that would make more sense of why it was such a bad return.
Now, some other folks are saying that that actually gets us closer to the floor.
Right, over
for
the floor.
when, I'm sorry, for when we unload.
Yes.
Right? Because we just talked about all the 1-year contracts the Sharks have.
Yeah, they can't just get rid of all those players and not have.
You're going to go way below the cap. Well,
Yeah.
that extra $10.5 million that counts towards, see, again, this is where it's valuable to the Sharks. It's not that it's $2 million. It's that they have a $10.5 million buffer
And
that
another
goes
8
over the
Coach
cap
Harry.
floor. Exactly,
Right.
yeah. But that gets them $10.5 million more
Yes.
over that cap floor for when they unload the other contracts that they have. Now, that also tells me that not only are they planning on unloading these 1-year contracts, and because they're getting that extra cap floor space, but the guys that they're planning on bringing in are probably not making a ton of money, which means they're probably looking at getting some of the younger, promising, aren't making a ton of money right now type of guys coming back the other way. So this is where we kind of go back. That one of that first questions of the show was, I haven't watched the Sharks since they were good. Should I be watching them? Do I need to be excited about them?
Yeah.
And we were talking about, they're not really rebuilding anymore. Well, in a sense, they might still sort of be, because if these guys are on their way out and we need cap space to stay at the floor after they get out, because we're not planning on bringing guys in with money, then we're probably still building, right? You know what I'm saying? So in any case, maybe I'm looking way too far into that, but that's one of the reasons that it was valuable for the Sharks as well, because we get that extra bit to keep us above that floor.
Gives them more
when we
flexibility,
make the trades.
flexibility to make moves.
Yeah.
Because they have like the ones that are expected to go, Ferraro.
Yes.
Most likely Ferraro. Possibly Nick Leddy, that's another $4 million. Klingberg,
Honestly,
another
any of
$4
these
million.
guys, as far as the defense is concerned, any of them, literally any of them, could be on the way out. And we'd be
Wenberg
happy
is
with
another
that.
big one. That's $5 million. That's a big chunk that would be gone. That would get them closer to the floor. So Wenberg is probably going to be the one that I could see him being moved, because the team would really want him.
Yeah.
Especially if any team had an injury into their maybe second line center,
That middle
or
six,
third line center. Like, they're gonna want someone with experience and
Yeah.
who can still play and is still not too old.
We talked a little bit about him last season being a guy that we didn't pay as much attention to, and that deserves some more accolades, I think. And yeah,
that was with Brody, I think. Like underrated kind of.
That's
player.
what it was. Brody had asked us about underrated players, and I threw Wenberg out there because I feel like obviously the young guns are going to get a lot of the attention because people are excited about those guys, right?
Yeah.
But the guys obviously when Granlund left, everybody loved Granlund, but he's gone, and now Wenberg is one of these guys that he's just steady. He's just steady, and he does all the right things. He's not flashy and everything, but he just gets the job done. And again, I think he's, as you said, one of those types of guys that other teams, when they're looking for a guy to solidify their middle six or their third line or whatever, right? They want a guy like that. Wenberg is a guy that's going to get some phone calls, right? Saying, hey, we'd love to take this guy on. Now, again, he's making $5 million. If you're getting somebody else back who's not making $5 million, you're getting a younger guy. Maybe he's still on like an ELC. They're not really sure how he's going to pan out, and that guy doesn't really want to play for us anymore, or whether there's some sort of dispute, whatever. That $10.5 million now helps keep you afloat when $5 million's going out the door and not a lot's coming back in. So again, there's value to the Sharks in making that trade over and above just the fit that they got when you look at how it's going to shake out for the trade deadline. So, yeah.
Okay. That's it.
That's
all I
it.
got on
Thank you.
Carey Price. Now, Carey Price, just for those who don't quite know or haven't been paying attention to hockey, he's not going to be playing. No. He's hurt. I think he has knee problems, and he hasn't played since 2022.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be playing for the Sharks. He won't be suiting up for the Sharks. In fact, I think he posted on Twitter, that I'm still a Canadian, I'm just a teal one now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Just in teal for now.
Yeah, just in teal for now. Yeah. That was funny.
I mean, look, it's not like we should be offended by that at all, right? Like, we know he's not going to... We know it's just a transactional kind of thing where we're playing with cap space and that kind of thing. It doesn't matter what name is attached to this, right?
I mean, think about if Couture got traded. Right? His contract got traded.
Yes.
Because the Sharks needed to move space. That's not going to happen. But
it won't.
But he would probably be the same way. Like, I'm not really going to go play for them. It's just,
I'm not actually a Bruin. I'm just, whatever it is.
I look good in yellow.
For sure. Why not? Okay, so then moving on from that, Ryan, you want to talk about Ryane Clowe just a little bit?
Just real quick, there's a lot of people that were upset with this move because he announced, like, I'm going to be stepping down from my position at assistant GM at the Sharks. I want to take my time, blah, blah, blah. It's for family reasons. And then, like, the next day or 2 days later, he signs with the New York Rangers as assistant GM. So people took it a little too personal of he's a traitor, I hate Ryane Clowe. And I'm like, I was reading a lot on Reddit and some other stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, people, like, this is a personnel decision. He was doing it for his family. In fact, who was it? Peter St. John had said way earlier, and I saved it, Peter. There's a really good interview on San Jose Hockey Now. Dan Boyle is on the show, and he said that Clowe took the job in New York because they allow him to work mostly remote from his home in Florida. So he did it for family reasons.
Yeah.
There's that. I didn't know that piece, that the specific one, until just now because I didn't get to watch the interview. But I thought his family was in New York and he wanted to go back and be closer to them. But it's a job in the NHL, right? These are, I tell you this about players playing in the NHL. They don't have loyalty to teams. They want to play in the NHL. Mm-hmm. Same with work. You want to work in the NHL, especially former players.
Sure.
They love being around it and want to do it, and they will take a job at any team. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm a Shark for life and I hate everyone else. He played for the Rangers. He played for the Devils. So he has an affiliation to those teams as well.
Yeah.
So don't take it too personal. It was a total family decision, and I have no problem with it. He's not going to take trade secrets and like whatever.
How to rebuild properly.
If anything, he's going to be a GM. Maybe not at the Rangers, but somewhere, right? Like he's getting experience to be a GM. That's another ally for Mike Greer to use for trades in the future. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with it.
I hope he becomes the GM for the Rangers so they can finally pay us back for the Barclay Goodrow fiasco. Anyway, so yeah, Ryane Clowe, good for him. I have nothing bad to say about the guy. Aaron Dell, another former Shark, announced his retirement. I don't know if there's anything you wanted to...
I was just going to highlight it real quick because he was in the organization still as of last season. He was playing for the Barracuda and also bouncing to the ECHL. Kind of be that veteran presence, especially for, who was in it last year? Carrier is the goalie that was kind of
worked his way up to the Barracuda.
Yeah.
But he was still very young.
Yeah.
And then Romanov got called up, and
Yeah.
so they needed somebody to be on the Barracuda. So he bounced between the two, just liked San Jose, and I'm sure he lives here, and had a job.
Yeah.
Like that's his. He's not playing the NHL anymore, or he wasn't playing the NHL anymore. That wasn't really his path, but he's still playing professional hockey. He's still getting paid to play hockey. He's getting paid to play a game. That's awesome. So I think he just, he's older.
Yeah.
I think, especially goalies, you kind of see those more like Carey Price, knee injuries, hip injuries, that kind of stuff. So your body just wears down really bad. So it was time for him to retire, and he retired, and that was it. Just wanted to bring it up, and that good to him, and congratulations on finishing your career out. I would not be surprised if we see him in the office and working with either the Barracuda or the Sharks. So I'm sure we'll see him around still.
We will surely miss all the memes. The dude you're getting to Aaron Dell, and then going to Aaron Dell frozen and everything else.
You're getting a Dell.
That's what I said. Shut up. So anyway, good on him. Great career in playing pro hockey. I think people get this wrong where they go, it was a guy that was a fringe NHLer. He played in the NHL, but he wasn't. Dude, to get anywhere near that level, do you have any idea the amount of dedication it takes? Like, good on him for having a really successful professional hockey career. To make it to the show is just a fantastic endeavor. So, congratulations to him on his retirement. Aaron, the SAP Center lease has been renewed.
Yes, I was happy about this. It's another 25 years in San Jose. One thing, I think it was about a year ago, they were in talks with the city about renewing the lease and maybe not renewing the lease. And that, I was never worried the Sharks were going to leave, but last year I kind of went, there's a chance that they could be gone. Like the Sharks could be leaving. I know they wanted to work with San Jose. They want to stay here. It's not like they want to leave. There's so much rooted here.
Yeah.
It would take a lot to be done. One thing the Sharks are very lucky to have is Hasso Plattner. He is probably one of the best owners, I think, in the NHL. And I'm not saying that because we're biased Sharks fans here, but he doesn't mind spending to the cap. When they were good, he spent all the way to the cap almost every single year. He very much trusts
Hey, man, when they're bad, we're also taking on a whole bunch of bad contracts that he's paying for, too, right? So.
But, I mean, he trusted Doug Wilson and company for so long. Then he didn't even fire Doug Wilson. Doug Wilson just stepped down, right? And then he went through the whole hiring process and got Mike Greer in here and got his whole team. But he's made quotes before specifically about SAP Center. I believe it's the third oldest building in the league behind Calgary Saddledome, which is getting replaced. They're building a new one right next door, so it will now be the second one once that one's done. And Madison Square Garden, which is not going anywhere. That's been super remodeled over the century or the decades. So the Sharks have a very old arena. He made the comment, Hasso Plattner made the comment, he's German, and he said, you Americans love tearing down buildings instead of just fixing them up and making them nice. I don't understand it. So that kind of made me settle and be like, okay, he's in it for the long haul in San Jose. He's not going to be building a brand new arena.
Yeah.
So they, I don't know, did you get these pictures, Jay? There's some renderings here of what they're going to possibly do. So the Sharks and the city are going to be putting in tens of millions of dollars to do some major upgrades. So there's been some maintenance issues that Becker had talked about in his press conference about deferred maintenance kind of stuff. The city's going to step up and start fixing things. So the city owns, for those who aren't around here, the city owns the SAP Center. They built it before there was an NHL team just to have an arena in San Jose for concerts and all this stuff. So the Sharks lease it. Now think about, you're paying rent to somebody to rent an apartment, right? Yeah. Something breaks in your apartment, who's responsible to fix it?
Right.
That's kind of the way to look at it. So the Sharks have been stepping up and fixing a lot of stuff and being like, hey man, like, help us out here. Like, you guys need to put in some money too. And it's hard for cities, budget wise and all that stuff to do certain things. So Mayor Matt Mahan, who is a San Jose guy, he went to high school with us. He was a year behind us. He's in there and he's like, yeah, we're gonna get this done, and they got the deal done. And I think it was unanimous across the whole city.
I believe it was, yeah.
To keep them here. So here's some renderings. This is really cool. Part of the problem, let's do this. What are some of the problems that you see at the SAP Center when you go to games?
People leaning forward.
Okay. I'm talking about the actual arena. Like, what would you want fixed? What would you want changed? For me, it's the lines. Like, the concession lines. You walk around the concourse, the lines block the walkway.
Yeah, okay.
So it is just crowded. It's hard. It's an old school way of doing it. They're going to kind of rework all of that stuff. They're going to add some more. If you go back, Jay, there's a picture of the arena. The next one, like this one. One thing that I saw interesting, I don't know if you see it, but there's cutouts, right? So those are all seats. Season ticket holders are obviously going to be pissed about this because they're going to lose their seats. But they're adding, it looks like, and I don't know if these are like done deals yet. This could be very early renderings.
Right.
But it looks like they're adding kind of lounge areas. So there's going to be a little bit more lounge areas. There's, they have the boxes. Now what's funny is, again, going back to what I said earlier, they built this for concerts and for everything. Like the plans were done in the late 80s. They broke ground in 92 and they was finished in 93. It wasn't built for hockey. One of the fun, cool perks about SAP Center is the away goalie. The away goalie doesn't have room on the bench, so he doesn't sit with the team.
Yeah.
He sits all the way across in the corner by himself in a folding chair behind the door in the corner that opens and closes and opens. He has to get up and move out of the way. It's kind of funny because it's the away goalie, right? Yeah. They're fixing that. So they're going to expand the benches a little bit so there's more room.
How kind.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Very kind, right?
For the away guys. Come on,
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if they're going to be adding, because they have to skate across to get to their locker room. They might be changing that around too, who knows. But they're doing some big major upgrades. Now, I think it said the 2027 season, I read that somewhere. 2027 is when they're going to be major work. Like, the Sharks will have a new home for that season. They will not be playing at SAP. I need to find that. I don't want to say quote that.
All their games, outdoor rink at Levi's.
Yeah, well, where would they play?
I don't know.
They can't play. Chase Center's not built for hockey.
Yeah.
They specifically did not build it, so basically the Sharks can't ever play there.
Yeah.
I know
Tech-CU,
Tech-CU is one option, but
$4,000, yeah.
4,000 people, maybe. I don't know what they would do.
That's not going to work.
The other alternative that I can think of,
Folding chairs.
not the Cow Palace. I think the Cow Palace is way too far gone, and it's not viable. I don't know if the Oakland Arena, which no longer has a tenant because the Warriors moved to the Chase Center, it's sitting there. I think you can do hockey there.
I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And you just do nothing but away games for one season.
Suck. You have a neutral site in some random spot, right? That would suck. That would just be awful.
Salt Lake City, they've got the Olympic rinks from when they did the what do you call Olympics out there, yeah.
Now, the other issue that they had was BART is coming through downtown San Jose.
Yeah.
BART extension is coming in from, I think it's from Milpitas or North San Jose. It's supposed to run down Santa Clara Street, which is right in front where the arena is, and connect to Diridon, which is the main train station, the big hub. So they're going to be doing that. So to do that, they are working on, they're supposed to be digging tunnels underneath to not disrupt the roads. Normally, they would dig a hole, build the tunnels, fill it back up, and build the road on top. This time, they're digging with digging machines underneath the ground, and it's super deep, and it's never been done before, the size of the tunnel they're doing. Everything is like never been done ever in the world anywhere. So it's kind of scary in a way and all that stuff. So, but the Sharks were worried because construction is going to happen. How are people going to get to the game?
Yeah.
Right? This is the picture right here. That's Santa Clara Street going on to the left.
They'll drive them blurry cars.
I was going to say, the blurry cars are in addition.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is 2027, they're trying to navigate this to do the renovations at SAP the same time they're going to be ripping up the roads and doing all the construction, because then they won't have to worry about people not getting Sharks games because there just won't be Sharks games that season. It would make sense to me if they could make that work. You're working with government, you're working with... Yeah, I don't think it could happen, but the ideal situation, that would be it. But... glad they're staying in San Jose. Glad SAP is going to be getting a big glow up here. Yeah. Because it needs it. I went to the Seattle Kraken game last season. I'm going to go again probably. And they did the same thing. They took the arena that was the Sonics were playing and they gutted it and just kind of rebuilt it up. And it is amazing. Nice. You walk through that. I was like, man, this is so cool. And then I went to a Sharks game in the SAP Center. I'm like, ugh, it is so bland here. I never realized it because that's the only one I've watched, the only place I went to watch hockey. So you can see the potential going to that place or going to any other place and going, wow, like it could be something nice. It has the bones. It's fine. It'll be good. but just getting all new stuff and getting everything. What are you looking at? What?
I like all the banners in the background there. That's just shark logos.
Oh yeah. Generic.
We didn't know what to do.
Well, they do have all those banners.
They're all Stanley Cups.
But
no,
but they're not.
They're not.
It's just the logo.
The Pacific Division.
Just the logo.
Winning the Pacific Divisions for those years. That's like what all those are.
Just let me dream.
Isn't it the Nashville Predators? They have like a meme on all the banners they put up for like random stuff or whatever. Yeah, anyway.
There's some football teams the same thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
In any case. All right, so last thing, well, maybe not last thing, but fantasy hockey. This is, again, something that's all you. So go ahead.
Yes, our trophy up there. So we have 2 spots in our fantasy hockey league. We were doing a keeper league, and I'm going to be switching this to a redraft league because it is so hard. We can't have a lot of turnover, and we're getting turnover every year. So to make it easier, make it simpler, we're going to do a redraft league. And Paul is going to be polling the names for the hockey draft order.
Oh, okay.
So we can all blame Paul when you don't get the first overall pick.
There you go.
Or you can blame Paul for giving me the first overall pick.
News to me, okay?
Yes.
And
Paul doesn't know,
if he gets the first overall pick, we have to redo it. That's
we were talking in the chat, and I was like, "Oh, I'll make Paul do it, and I'll do it during a show, like it's live, and everyone can watch."
That'll be good.
I think it'll be fun.
I like that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Or we can, if we have any interviews lined up pre the season starts, we can have them do it, like a third party,
I like that. Yeah.
Neutral person who's not in the league. That kind of thing.
Yeah, when we interview Logan Couture or something, right? Yeah.
And we can use the cup and put the names in the cup to pull them out.
I like that.
I think it'd be fun.
It's good. It's
Can
good.
we draw it out for 4 hours?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes.
Good God.
So anyway, if you're
that
interested,
draft show was ridiculous. It'll go faster because it's remote. No, it takes so much longer.
If you're interested in joining, email thefinfactor@gmail.com. And just put fantasy hockey in the title and let me know if you're interested, and I can send you an invite. There are 2 openings. There might be a third. So, let me know. And the draft will probably it'll be obviously before the season. We don't have a date yet, so late September, early October.
As a man,
Can beat off walls.
As a man of the people, I will not take one of the 2 or 3 spots. You have my word. Okay.
You should definitely join. This guy should definitely join.
I don't think so. I have no time. I have no time as it is.
Plenty of time.
One time I did fantasy hockey, and it wasn't even a money type of thing.
That was
situation.
like 20 years ago.
I know. And the one time I did it, it was like my life. Like, I couldn't even get work done. I was just focused in.
He made it his life for a public league. Everyone's laughing at you right now because they know in a public league, nobody logs in. They do it just for the draft.
I didn't know that because it was the first one I'd ever done.
He's like, why is nobody responding to my trade request?
And who's responsible for getting me into that league?
No, I didn't.
Didn't explain a thing to me. It's all you. It's all your fault. That's the
you
story
and Joe
I'm going with.
You and Joe played.
That is the story that I'm going with. It was him. Okay.
Anyway, one last thing here.
Yes.
We mentioned this, I think, the last show, maybe a couple of shows ago.
Okay.
Kiki, member of our wife and a member of our fantasy hockey league, there's a GoFundMe for her. She is still in the hospital. It's been 6 months now. So if you could do anything, we're going to put it down in the description down below, and you can click on it, and any donations out to her would be amazing. So Kiki, we miss you and hope you can be home soon. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Guys, yeah, if you can spare anything, if you were thinking about doing a super chat or whatever else for us tonight, please give that to Kiki instead. We'd appreciate that.
MJ, is there a buy-in? There's real quick, there's a $50 buy-in. And
for fantasy league.
For fantasy league, sorry.
Okay.
$50 buy-in, and it's head-to-head points league. So there's a points value, and if you are interested, email me, and I can send you screenshots of what the rules and the settings are and everything, so you can see it. But it will no longer be a keeper league, so it'll make it a little simpler and easier every year. Yeah.
Very good. Well, Super Producer Jason just put everything up on the screen there for Venmo. If you'd like to support the show, Venmo or Super Chat, or you can go to thefinfactor.com, pick up a hat, or whatever else over there. But again, for those, the ways you guys can tip us like that, I would prefer that you guys go ahead and help Kiki out there. So if you guys can do that, that would be awesome. If not, we totally get it. Or if you do want to just support the show and you want to get something in return, again, go to the website and check out the products and stuff. Get something there. Aaron typed fan tracks.
Oh, they want to know what we were using.
Oh, yes, there you go. Fan tracks. That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, so any last
Become a member.
Become a member.
Oh, yeah,
Why not?
Become a member.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You don't have. No, this is your thing.
My thing.
I do everything else. You are the member guy.
Not only
Yeah.
can you subscribe to our channel, you can become a member. When you become a member, you get special perks down below in the chat. and special things, and I don't even know it. I can't even remember. We did not practice this, obviously. So, yes, become a member today. Thank you. That's my spiel.
So if I said that Aaron is selling, in my generation, that would mean he's trying to get you guys to get on board. But I think in the current generation, selling is a bad thing. In which case, you are selling by doing that. So there you go.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I don't know. Are your kids saying stupid things now, by the way?
Yes, but they don't understand it. They just hear it. And so it's even funnier.
Yeah.
Because they'll say it without understanding what it is. Guess what my son's soccer team name is?
6'7"?
Sigma FC.
They got the Riz.
Dear
Sigma.
God.
You know what he wanted it to be?
Oh, what?
What was it? It was Riz something. I don't know. I can't even remember now.
We're old. We are old. Come and join us and be old too. Guys, again, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, fun show, Jess. Thank you for being in the chat, Jess. We have Jess in here normally. I don't remember seeing Jess.
Yeah, sometimes I think.
Okay, all right. Hey, Jess, come back more often and bring your friends with you. We'd appreciate that. Okay, I think that does it. Hopefully you guys had a good time. We're looking forward to getting back into the saddle again. We're going to have a little bit of a hiatus, but Sharks hockey is going to be picking up. We're very excited for this season. Again, if you're not subscribed, please hit that button. It's not so much for us. It's more for you because we don't know when we're going to be on live, and it's better for you to know with getting that notification, so hit that bell, and you will know when we do that. Guys, for Super Producer Jason, I'm Paul.
And I'm Aaron.
And we will see you guys
Next week.
when he's done hitting bells, and probably sometime next week. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this episode, check out our other content, especially interviews. You can interact with us directly through social media at The Fin Factor and on Instagram at Fin Factor. And don't forget to join our live streams on YouTube.
Visit our website at thefinfactor.com, where you'll find all of our episodes as videos.